Hello and welcome to MTB Cooking. Today we share with you the recipe for a Bœuf Bourguignon, the traditional French dish from Burgundy in France. First of all, we'll start out by cutting up some bacon. It's salted and smoked, and we prefer to cut it out ourselves. We know that it's possible to buy it already diced, but it's actually really nice to decide exactly the size of these chunks of bacon. We don't want them to be too small because it's nice that in this Bœuf Bourguignon we can have these pieces of bacon actually to chew on. We're also going to cut out some beef shoulder. We've taken this nice big piece of beef. It's a cut that has these marble fat pieces in the meat, and it's really amazing for the meat to be nice and juicy later on and to give a lot of flavor to our dish. So it's actually nice that there's a bit of fat on the meat that you use for your Bœuf Bourguignon. Cut it out into some pieces that are not too small. Again, we do want to have the texture of the meat so we have something to chew on in this dish. On the side, we have added some flour to a bowl and we just salt and pepper it, mix it a little bit using our hands, and then we have this coating that we can use for our beef. So we'll take each piece of beef and turn it over in the flour. That will help us when we are browning off the meat later on in a pan to give some nice surface to the meat. We will first of all fry off our bacon. So we've just put a bit of oil in a pan and then fried it till it was nice and crispy, but not like totally dry crisp. We've now transferred the bacon to a bigger pot that we're going to cook our finished dish in. But for now, we'll stay in the pan. We're using the same one with the bacon fats, which will give a lot of good taste to the beef that we will now fry off in batches. And we'll do that so that we don't overcrowd the pan. If we put all of our beef on at once, then there will not be enough room for the liquids on the pan to evaporate, and we would be left with like meat that's just boiling more than frying. So we do this in batches, and what you can see here is that it gets a nice brown surface, which is really the result we're looking for here. We want our beef to taste very well, but we also want it to have this surface, really good taste that it'll give to the rest of the dish when it's cooking. So we don't necessarily want to cook the beef all the way into the center, since we know that it'll be cooking for several hours in a pot later on. We use the same pan here, so we'll fry off our onions that we've just cut up into some smaller pieces together with some carrots. They're gonna give a lot of good flavor to this dish that we're cooking, and it's also gonna really give some texture and some body to it. We added some garlic cloves also that we just minced, and then we can pour on a good Burgundy red wine from France, of course, onto the pan. It's gonna be a big part of the sauce that goes into this dish because, of course, it's a Bœuf Bourguignon. Bourguignon is actually just telling you that there will be Burgundy wine in the dish. We also will add some beef stock, and that is to have a bit more liquids for this sauce. So that's what's going into the pan as well. And we've just poured it all on top of our beef and bacon here. We've let this sauce that we did in the pan cook for some minutes before adding it to the pot. Then we're going to add some fresh thyme as well as some bay leaves to the pot, and then we bring it all to a boil. After that, we can turn down the heat a bit and put on a lid. Let it cook for 2.5 hours at like very simmery, not too high temperature. On the side in a pan, we've actually just heated up some butter. Then we've added a bunch of mushrooms that we've halved. Mushrooms fried in butter is just the best. It gives such a good taste. And then we just fried them till they were nice and golden brown. We added in a garlic clove at the end just to give this nice garlicky taste to the mushrooms that we can then add to the Bœuf Bourguignon. So they're gonna add a lot of flavor, both in terms of what they in themselves taste like, but also with the garlic taste. We're almost finished with our dish. It's been 2.5 hours since we let it simmer away, and we just want to thicken the sauce a bit. So that's why we added this mix of flour and water. It's actually going to just thicken up the sauce. We add in just one more splash of red wine just for the taste, and then we can salt and pepper to taste and just check that it all tastes the way we want it to before serving it up. And we serve it here with plenty of freshly chopped parsley, and of course together with a beautiful bowl of mashed potatoes. I mean, a dish like this one really deserves the best side dishes ever. And we also served up with a nice baguette, since this is a French dish and you would never serve something like this in France without the baguette on the side. So now all that's up for us to do is to taste this delicious meal, and we can really guarantee you an intense flavor. The sauce is really amazing. It tastes of so much. The meat is juicy, it's tender. It has these small pockets of fat that are still in it, and it's really amazing to eat. It's perfect for a cold winter night like the ones that we're experiencing at the moment. But something like this can really light up the entire feeling at home. It's comfort food at its best, and we're so happy to have you here with us seeing our video. Thank you for seeing MTB Cooking. Please subscribe to our channel, give the video a like, and we'll see you later in a new video. Bye.